Hi guys, Jai Hind, good afternoon, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Good
evening,
evening,
sir.
sir.
Sorry, we had to change the time. I hope it didn't cause too much of inconvenience to you all.
No, not at all, sir.
Chalo, good to see you.
We'll be starting the session in just 2 minutes, so let's wait for some people to join in and
ठीक है,
then we'll
Samir.
start. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Samir. I can see Ananya, Archie Kumar, Shefali Shrivastava, yeah, Sahil Punya, Prerna Sharma, Rudra Pratap Singh. Good evening, Manas, Abhishek. So, you all are from Jai Hind, Jai
Good
Hind.
evening,
You all are
sir.
from Calcutta or all over Delhi?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
I'm from
I'm from
Delhi.
Delhi.
okay. Oh, great. That's very nice. Jai Hind, Tushar, Abhishek, Abhilash Tyagi, Rudra Pratap, Shweta Raj, Lakshya Punya. Most of you are what, defense aspirants?
Uh, so this event
Yes,
has
sir.
been organized by Rotaract Club of Resilience, and we all are college students, and most of them, yes, are defense aspirants too.
Oh, great. So you are connected with me on other platforms also, many of you?
Yes, sir. Most of the people have connected with you, and they follow your Instagram account and your YouTube account.
Okay. Most of you are subscribers to my YouTube account.
Yes.
तो बात बन रही है when I speak on hate speech and when I speak on you know so many other issues, leadership issues and all.
Sir, I think opinions काफी अच्छे हैं and varied होने भी चाहिए and people really respect you and they respect your decisions and your opinions. Yeah, you have a lot to say and you are a great motivator. So yeah, that's why we invited you to learn from you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's the aim, to instill true values of what idea of India, what India stands for, and not get into narrow vision.
Yes. So we'll be starting the session now. Okay.
Okay.
कोशिश कर हल निकलेगा, आज नहीं तो कल निकलेगा, अर्जुन के तीर सा सद, मरुस्थल से भी जल निकलेगा, मेहनत कर पौधों को पानी दे, बंजर जमीन से भी फल निकलेगा, ताकत जुटा हिम्मत को आग दे, फौलाद का भी बल निकलेगा, जिंदा रख दिल में उम्मीदों को, गरल के समंदरों से भी गंगा जल निकलेगा, कोशिशें जारी रख कुछ कर गुजरने की, जो है आज थमा थमा सा चल निकलेगा.
Today, it is a great honor and privilege to be graced by presence of Major General Yash Mor. He is plethora of knowledge from all places. He has traveled and has brought about poise and grace that few possess. He has enriching experiences across various countries, the savannas of Africa, Bangladesh,
I can't hear the sound. Something.
I think, sir, there's a network issue. No problem. Okay, so he's a Sena Medal awardee and has Army Chief Commendation card for gallantry services during counter-terror operations in South Kashmir. From being born and brought up in Haryana, he began his career by being commissioned in one of the oldest infantry battalions in India. He is an alumnus of NASA Center, Washington, D.C., a prestigious US think tank on strategic affairs. Among the pinpricks of his dynamic personality, he's a motivator, TEDx speaker, author, an academy educator, and sport enthusiast. Major General Yash Mor, sir, has also founded an NGO, Save the Himalayas. The versatility of his personality is impossible to grasp in words. Sir, it is an absolute honor and our utmost pride to have your presence among us. We would request you to kindly address and nurture young minds by your blissful words. Sir, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Samir. Thank you very much. Such a pleasure to see young, bright, people of India. I get so enthused, when I meet you all. You all have a bright future ahead of us. We are now in the fading journey because we have done our first innings and we are in our second innings. but you are yet to start batting in your first innings. So you're still in the coaching camp, kind of, aspirants, various you're in colleges or wherever you are. So it's wonderful. As I keep saying, you are a lucky generation. I call your generation the win-win generation, because you're born in much better times than what we were born. So history is on your side. Is on your side, because anyone who's born after 1991, I consider them reasonably lucky, because India had opened up, our economy had opened up, and a lot of a sad part of our history had gone behind us. Though few other things did happen after that also, but I thought that was a turning point. And then in 2000, we had very good economic growth. India became the IT hub of the world, and Indians started getting a respect which we never got. When we traveled abroad, I first time went abroad in 1993 to be a UN peacekeeper, and we went through Europe. So I saw when you pushed an Indian passport, how you were looked at by immigration authorities in other places of the world. And then when I traveled after 2000, I saw India had changed. Infosys and many such companies, had taken India to the world stage, and we became, IT hub. We became, a nation which was rising. Our economy was rising, and it appeared that India is arriving now at the world stage. And for good time, we didn't have any communal riots, we didn't have any wars, and by and large, we were going well. Then, of course, 1998, we did our second nuclear blast. That took the world by storm. They were shocked and surprised why India has done that. So there was feeble attempt at put sanctions at that, but they realized it's too big, India, and nothing much came out of it. But our resilience as a nation was shown that yes, for our security needs, we can take hard steps, and we don't have to look at the West for any approval. Then came the Kargil War of 1999, where again we acquitted ourselves well. Not only the army, the three forces, the way we reacted, but as a nation, the way we replied to Pakistan's adventure, and the way the whole world stood by us, and how they had to withdraw and accept defeat. So good times, and a lot of progress on the economic front, and new jobs being created. IT sector had opened up. Telecom sector, I've seen an age where it was 10 years waiting to get a landline phone. 10 years waiting to get a landline phone. 6 to 8 years waiting to get a scooter. To get a Vespa scooter, you have to apply. It was 6 to 8 years waiting period. And if you could get $200 from a relative who was in UK or Canada, then you can jump the queue and buy a Vespa scooter. I've seen those days. For a cycle, you needed a license, municipal committee license. It was, I think, it worked to 10 to 15 paisa a month, but you had to get that token. It was fitted on the cycle. To have a radio, you needed a license, or you hit the radio, and it was controlled by the senior-most person at home to listen to news and all, and some songs sometimes. So I have vivid memories, and it's not that it happened when I was a young child. I was an adult. All this happened. I saw when color TV came into India, when we had 82 Asian Games, very successful Asian Games, when Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister, and color TV was introduced in India for the first time. So then, of course, we saw what happened in Punjab insurgency. Then Kashmir blew up in 89, 90. So, but still we were going well as a nation. And I think the youth, we started recognizing a youth dividend, this word started. And no longer were we talking of brain drain. When I was growing up like you, the main question we would practice for GD was brain drain. Okay, these people are studying here and going abroad, they must be arrested and brought back, or they must pay fine. Why should they allow? Then we stopped talking. We say, no, it's brain gain. These people, Indian diaspora, they have brought the image of the nation, which I feel is the right thing. Thank God nobody stopped our doctors and engineers brought up on a subsidized education system, went abroad, but they created a name for the country and they sent huge amount of money home, which added to our dollar reserve, foreign exchange reserve, and that is required for a nation. So all this happened, and democracy took its roots, and very fair and free elections. We were having frequent change of governments and all that. So that was very good. So far, so good. But then now things don't look that good. Frankly, I must admit this to you. We are at a very, very crucial threshold in our nationhood. Those 75 years has been a reasonably good journey. I'll still give India 6 out of 10 as a nation. 6 out of 10. And 6 is not bad out of 10 for a nation of this multitude. And we had great leaders. We are lucky that we were led by people like Mahatma Gandhi, by Jawaharlal Nehru and Patel, and the initial founding fathers of our independence. They were great people, really.
Yes, sir. I agree with you that India is finally getting the respect that we really deserve.
Yeah.
With this, also, our panel has some questions for you.
Yeah.
So we can start with that.
Yeah, we can. We absolutely. Chalo, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Good
Any questions? Don't worry. Whatever comes to your mind, anything you can ask me.
Yes, we know
Good
that sir
evening,
is
sir.
comfortable with anything.
Good evening, sir. I agree with your points. India is indeed developing digitally and overall in different aspects. We also have different problems, but we will overcome them with unity. Now, sir, I wanted to ask a question that was it always army? Have you decided it, or was it your family background of defense?
Yeah, that played a major role. My father was a soldier. So for a soldier, it's a huge thing to have the next generation become officers. So my father was a visionary person, a man with a lot of zeal, enthusiasm. With good education, he would have been a general in the army. That I can tell you about my father. But those days in village, whatever he could only got enrolled, but did very well in the army. So that played a major role. Then I joined military school, where we were cadets. So we almost tutored from beginning to join the army as an officer. So I was lucky. I got cleared all these exams and all in first go. But I did have many other attributes. I was not a straightforward, straight-jacketed, typical Fauji from birth. No, I was into writing, I was into acting, I was a debater, and I did mull over many times in college, which happens with all of you. Ki nahi yaar, ye nahi, ye kar lete hain. So I did have my own plan B and C and D if the army had not found me fit. But yes, it came because of my defense background. I agree with you.
So the next thing that I want to ask is that, is there anything that you remember from your training days, and how was your life in the army?
Yeah, I remember so many things in my training days. It was tough training, and you do feel at times, low points also come. But somehow I had maintained a very, very good physical standard throughout my school days. So that helped me cope up with the physical part. Sometimes if you're you don't prepare yourself well, you may get recommended and you reach the academy, but it can be very, very difficult. People have stress fracture, people are unable to cope up, it demoralizes them. You feel you're not worth it, if you can't clear your tests with your friends and other this thing. So I was very lucky. I was one of the tougher guys in my batch, and being a sports person, and I was also all the time kept reading as a hobby. This is something which has been integral part of my personality. Right when I was 11, 12-year-old boy, when I started knowing the value of written word. So initially I couldn't speak a word of English, so it was all Hindi. And then slowly I picked up English and then started reading English. So that actually transformed me, and that helped me in my training also. So I did very well in the training part. In the army, I can say, initially I was very laid back. I never aspired to be a general. I never even aspired to be a colonel. I was just happy. Oh, officer ban gaye, parents खुश हैं, तो बहुत बड़ी बात है. गांव से निकले थे, and I've become an officer. But many events, some mentors I met who saw some potential in me, cautioned me, guided me, and held my hand and took me across and said, no, you are capable of much bigger things. You don't know your potential. So then, of course, sometime after you can say 5 years service, I started reincarnation kind of a Yash Mor. So a lot of people are surprised. This guy is. So in school I was very poor in studies, but college also laid back, and I was okay, just that kind average. But then I started, cleared all my army exams, also staff college I did in India. I went to staff college abroad. I represented the country many times abroad. So that all came because of my performance in various phases. So I enjoyed my military life. I saw a lot of combat. Not many people in the army, they may retire, but see actual combat, actual, whether it is in insurgency, on line of control. I've seen it all. I've been near death situations many times, and proved my leadership skills with my soldiers at very, very crucial stages of life, when it is question of life and death. So that way I'm very happy that I've been able to achieve my aspirations as well as contribute.
Yes. Good afternoon, sir. This is Kangshi, and indeed, your journey is really motivational. And I also have a question for you. Since I came to know that you have seen, generations evolve, you have seen that time, and you have also witnessed our time. So I think my question would be that one value of that generation, of your generation, that you would like to keep, and one that you would discard, and one from our generation that you will keep and discard.
Kankshi Rathi, मुझे से लग रहा है I'm on stage on a Miss World competition, and this is a celebrity question. This is what happens when you are with bright people. Nobody has ever asked me this question.
Yes, sir, indeed, it's a celebrity question, but since you have seen generations evolve, so I think that you might be able to give a better answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful question, first of all.
Thank
Really very nice. So one value which you would want me to carry forward from my generation to this generation is there is no substitute for hard work. Just no substitute. Nothing you'll get free. You may get apps, you may get, Zomato can be ordered, Swiggy is there, phone call, this, that. You can have Tinder, you can have relationships virtual. At our time, it took a lot of effort. Very lucky guys had a girlfriend. Very lucky people could have actually had a relationship or things. It was a different, so everything required hard work, really hard work. So this is one thing I will say, a lot of smileys coming. So hard work is what I think this generation must realize. You will not get anything easily. You'll have to work hard. And you asked me what was the other one?
This is a value that you would like to keep, and the value that you wouldn't like to keep from your generation.
Yeah.
And same applies to our generation.
Okay. The
One
value
thing that you'll keep and
I
one
would
thing
like to keep from my generation is insecurity. We were very insecure generation. Our parents were very insecure. They were just, they were miserly people. They would just keep hoarding and save every penny. And there was too much of the societal pressures, log kya kahenge, and they're very insecure people. And government job was everything. Government job. So it killed, I think, a lot of aspirations of young people. People became clerks or got recruited, who could have achieved much, provided they were allowed to progress, flower in their various fields. So there's just no scope for an artist or somebody who can sing or somebody. It was very rare, So that I thought was a sad part of our growing up. I wouldn't want that to be, there with us. And now, if you ask me one quality of this generation, good quality, I like is you all are very, very, a lot of initiative is there. I really like a lot of initiative, and that is what will take you across. Very important for getting recommended in the army also. So I see a lot of recommendation initiative. A lot of I see ability to chart new courses. Bold, very, very bold generation. I like that, and that is a correct attitude. I wish we had this attitude when we were growing up like you. But one habit I think which this generation must jettison it, or be wary of it, is this too much of time and spent on the virtual world. This is just killing your youth. You are many of them with Wi-Fi at home and a laptop or a tablet, wasting time, months, days, no sleeping time, no wake up time, no physical, no mental rigor, and it'll just go. Few years will just go, and you'll find yourself virtually unhappy. You'll be unhappy. So one must get out. Outdoor activity, there's no substitute. Humans are men are man is born to run. Man is an outdoor, not an indoor animal. So we ought to be outdoor, couple of hours every day, running, playing, trekking, and our country has so much to offer. So this is one thing I'll advise if I can.
Indeed, sir, it's a very, very nice answer. I think it's a celebrity answer.
Thank you.
I can say that. And I think when it comes to me, one thing that I really admire about your generation will be simplicity. The people were totally uncomplicated, they were totally simple. And I think in my generation, I have seen that we are too much conscious about the things that don't even matter.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that is my observation. But yes, your answer is indeed the best we could have. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sir,
Yes.
indeed, we are a generation who has to learn many things. We live in a virtual world now due to COVID-19, and it has to be solved somewhere. So, sir, here in the audience, many participants are there who are defense aspirants. So, any message you would like to give them?
I'll say just follow your dreams. But what is happening with your generation? Another thing I must tell you, because now last 6-7 months since the time I started my YouTube channel and got onto social media, I started my Instagram account actively, and now over 1 lakh follow me on these two combined, and it's growing every day. What I feel is too many unrealistic dreams. Just by seeing movies, by seeing serials or pictures of Maroon Beret posted or some clips here and there, everybody wants NDA and army and this. You have a Bollywood image of army, absolutely Bollywood image. You feel, heroes are like Vikram Batra was like the movie. No, you're just ordinary person, struggled hard, got into the army. Just opportunities and circumstances make a hero out of people. They were not really like, what you see in the serials and movies and all. So get real, and work towards it. And that requires years of hard work to get a personality which will get recommended. So people don't work on their personality. They see a dream and think ho jayega, and tips le lo idhar udhar se. Tips leke officer nahi ban sakte. That I can tell you. You want to wear a uniform of the Indian Armed Forces, it requires diligent work over months. Yeah, anything else? Yeah, Samir, anyone wants to ask
Good
this?
evening, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. I'm Varsha, and I would like to ask, sir, does insecurity always make us to take a back step?
Insecurity makes you take. What did you say?
Sir, I said, does insecurity always make us to take a back step? Can't we say sometimes it helps us to put more efforts?
Yeah, it depends. Now you are confusing insecurity with
Yes, sir.
stress,
Yes,
I
sir.
think. Yeah, I got it. It's not insecurity, it's stress. Yeah, some stress is good. You have to have stress, and the right amount of stress. Right from why did we have 10th board exams? It brought first time some stress, and started sometimes in 9th. कि यार अब पढ़ना शुरू कर दो, बोर्ड होगा अगले साल, है ना? फिर पढ़ाई करते थे. They'd give you a good feeling if you scored a bit and you were able to take your choice. Then next stress was 11th and 12th, and then of course without stress you really probably will not achieve. Even if you're not into academics, leave it. If you are just into performing arts, or you're into a totally passionate, whether it is absolutely digital world में भी आपने कोई काम करना है, some stress is required and a lot of hard work is required to succeed. Otherwise you'll be there, somewhere there, average, you'll average out. But to really break the ceiling and achieve success, you'll have to take good stress and work towards it.
Thank you so much, sir. I think you
Thank you.
answered it, well.
Thank you.
Absolutely right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So I want to ask one thing, that as we all know that you were actively involved in the counter-terrorism operations in Jammu and Kashmir and Punjab. So how did you motivate your Jawans during these tough times?
See, मेरा motivation का फंडा बहुत simple रहा अनन्या. I have always walked the talk. I'm not the one who has given orders and then sat down in the room because cold and it is snowing outside and expected my men to give duties and do things. No. They knew this guy's tougher. I was tougher than most of them. Though I was in age, probably I was 10 to 15 years older most of the time. Punjab, I was young company commander. Maybe there were people older than me in age also. But when I was in Kashmir, I was very, very senior. I was about to become a commanding officer. I was over 40 years of age. But I would give this 20, 25-year-old soldiers a run for their money when it came to climbing mountains and doing tough job. That was one. Secondly, whenever I felt there is a 10% chance of an encounter that we could meet militants or terrorists, we had information, even if it was sketchy, or I felt the gut feeling पे मैंने बहुत काम किया कि there can be an encounter, I would always lead. I would always lead. No question. I will say कि साहब जाना जरा देख लेना वहाँ शायद मुठभेड़ हो जाएगी कोई militant. It never happened. All the killings, all the neutralization that my team did was always when I was leading from the front. I never bothered about sleep or food. So that then they were just and I never scolded anyone. They would just follow me to hell also. I can tell you that much. That is in my style of leadership, frankly.
Sir, there are dangers when you lead, counter-terrorism operation. So, did you feel like you may lose your life in some part, and you were worried about your family back home?
Yeah, it is there. I won't say कि हम बहुत brave हैं या कोई वो है. It is there that So many times this feeling comes कि maybe today you may not come back, or when the firing takes place, initially first 5-10 minutes ना कुछ समझ नहीं आता है. I remember an encounter, one of the most deadly encounters. I remember we were on a hilltop. I used to operate with very less people. I started some innovative things in Kashmir. अभी भी लोग बात करते हैं कि जब मेजर यश मोर था तो he was a risk taker. So where 30 people would go, I will go with 5 people, 4 people, 6 people, 8 people, small team. I started this huge thing of moving around with lesser people. So we were on top of a hill, and I was new that time. I had not been in a real firefight in Kashmir. So there was a soldier with me who was my buddy. We were looking at 5-6 people climbing up like this. But in Kashmir, we wear a firan, so you can't see what is somebody holding inside. He says, sir, ये पक्का militant है, गोली मारो, fire करो. मैंने कहा मरवाएगा यार, civilian हो गया तो कोई. नहीं साहब, मैंने कहा no. I'll not fire till I see an AK-47. I was very clear. I couldn't have killed a civilian. ये अलग बात है मेरी फितरत में है. I can't kill a Kashmiri in cold blood. Never. It's a sacrilege. So I said, कोई बात नहीं, militant होगा, देखी जाएगी. Let them come closer. So when they came really very close and we were in this position, they thought कि yes, there's army guys on top. So something happened, I don't know, some moment they saw, they started running madly. When a person runs, in a rural area, there can only be militants. It can't be, nobody runs in villages. You walk fast, but कोई दौड़ता नहीं. So then hell was let loose. I didn't know. I lost. Who was firing on whom, I don't know. So it took us really, then they were running downhill. We were on top. Then we also started running downhill. I don't know where this boys of mine went. And all sides, AK-47 firing and LMG firing, bullets were just flying left, right, center. And I was trying to get some sense. And this soldier of mine says, "सब गोली मारो." मैंने कहा यार मैं गोली मारूंगा तो साला ये जो हो रहा है इसका क्या होगा? How do I control this? And on that rudimentary set, I'm trying to tell my own party was little far away to move to this area. He says, which area? I said, Nala. He says, I can see 15 nalas from पहाड़ से जो ऊपर आ रहे हैं. Which one? Where are you? You can't make out anything. So, but good sense prevailed. I didn't listen. I had to use my own mind and this thing. We were able to corner, and we had a 1 hour firefight in different places because everybody ran helter skelter, and we were able to kill four Pakistani militants, Lashkar-e-Toiba. One of them was a battalion commander, and it made the headline news. And only one soldier of mine got a stray bullet, not much, just first aid type, no casualty at all, and we killed 4. So इस टाइप से बहुत बार होता था कि पता नहीं सडनली होता है, ये कोई प्री प्लान नहीं होगा, you know. So these were some interesting times where I feel कि yes, there was danger, but एक बार that it is like being in the ground ना, you are warmed up, फिर को you just want to ensure your jawans are safe because that is your responsibility. Your soldiers should be safe, and then ensure that you are able to, kill these guys.
Sir, your calmness made it look like a piece of cake.
नहीं ऐसा नहीं है.
Yeah, sir, like you were saying कि the bullets were flying and I was sitting like in the aura. Sir, no one says that, only the bravest.
नहीं, but many times, one could make out, इतनी हमें knowledge हो गई थी कि by the sound of the bullet, कि whether it is crossing 1 feet above your head, or it just missed your ear and gone, or it is hitting below somewhere where you're sitting, or it's gone totally. वो idea हमें होना शुरू हो गया था. We could make out exactly by the sound and,
Sir, it was indeed a very, very thrilling and very inspiring and listening about experience of your combat. Sir, how did you feel when it was your last day in the army? What was your experience?
Yeah, in fact, there is a small video on my Twitter, which I put up on 1st October, that I retired 1st October 2020. I had planned I was mentally very much ready for my second innings. A lot of people go into depression, and being a major general is huge, huge house. You have a staff of 20, 30 people. You have, one phone call, and you're huge. I can't tell you the kind of adulation, and with that rank responsibility and the way people, and suddenly one day it's over. So I was mentally prepared. So firstly, I was doing my PhD, which I was about to submit my thesis, which I submitted just after retirement. So that kept me going. And though I could have stayed on for another 3-4 months with the same perks and privileges, because in COVID we had been given permission ki you can stay on. But I said no. Day 1 I must start my second innings. So day 1 my article was published. Because in army we have a lot of restriction. You can't publish, you have to get permission. So I said, yeah, it's too much of a headache. So 1st October my first article had been published, and then I was writing 3 to 4 articles a week. If you Google, मेरे उस time के बहुत articles हैं. Then I finished my PhD in the first chance. So it was. Then I planned it in a manner. I did a brief wreath laying in the Soldiers Memorial. Then I gave my final talk to my staff, officers and men. I just 10 minutes, my nichod of life, and had a good party with my friends and all. Had a drink, and next day morning in my car with my wife and my dog, we just drove away, and it was okay. I didn't feel much sad or anything like that. I thought, ठीक है, everything has a time.
Sir, it's so good listening to you that, as you told about second innings, you were so enthusiastic even after your retirement and all. So I want to ask you, like, how was your life, your post-army life?
Post-army has been very good. I did a lot of writing. Then I had some very good offers, but I was taking on my own time to make up my mind. Then COVID happened, and I became positive, and then I was in isolation. That is the time I thought of my YouTube channel, and then after that, it's been an amazing journey. I remember I was so thrilled when I had 5,000 subscribers. Now I don't feel anything. We have crossed 61,000. Every day, 300 to 400 people add up to this thing, and the kind of comments I get, and so I'm very happy. And I'm doing a book also on leadership. Then many authors are in touch with me to write book reviews or about their books. And then I'm teaching on Unacademy. That amazing thing happened because of YouTube. They watched my YouTube. Somebody, when I had 800 subscribers in Unacademy, noticed my YouTube, and then through somebody I got a call, and it took a month and a half of negotiation and decision for me. And now I have 93 million watch minutes on Unacademy. 93 million in 4 months. And I generally take current affairs topics. Today I spoke on hate speech. I speak on issues which nobody dares speak. पता नहीं लोग डरते हैं, बोलते नहीं. I speak on religious, I speak on hate speech, I speak on Panama Papers, Facebook Papers, on Pegasus, Pandora's paper. I take classes on all these subjects just to tell my students कि यार ये है, अगर GD में lecturate में कहीं है, this is the way to make opinion and this is how you need to. So all of your aspirant must download this app and just watch my free classes. Just watch my free classes. उसमें मेरा पूरा नाम है यशपाल सिंह मोर. So just subscribe, follow me, you will get, and every class notification you will get. So I put a lot of effort. So that has given me, yesterday I had 350 children attending my class. Otherwise in virtual world, it's not possible to to be in a college and speaking to 350 students. Class में नहीं होंगे, है ना? 15-20 होंगे, ऐसे होंगे. So that is also a wonderful thing that has happened. So Unacademy, YouTube, my writing, my book, my cycling. Cycling also, I've done 7,000 kilometers last year. So that also, I don't know, maza aa raha hai.
Yes, sir. I went through your YouTube channel and it was really inspirational for me. Like, I really got inspired by it.
So please subscribe and ensure everyone in your family has this channel. Your mother, father, even they need to watch.
Yeah, sir. I have subscribed.
Brother, sister, सबको बोलो ये देख लो, थोड़ा दिमाग क्लियर हो जाएगा, इंडिया क्या है. है ना? Yesterday I spoke on this Amar Jawan Jyoti, and respect for a soldier is a soldier. You can't कि यार वो ब्रिटिश के लड़े तो उनका नामो निशान मिटा दो, अभी नया इंडिया बनाएंगे. यार इंडिया is 10,000 years old. ऐसे बहुत आगे चले गए कहने के लिए कि नया भारत बन रहा है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. भारत is भारत and let it continue. Keep improving, but don't try to, so उस पे भी मैंने बात किया.
So, sir, with this thing, I have a question. That are you in favor of Amar Jawan Jyoti being shifted to National War Memorial, or are you in favor of it being kept at India Gate?
See, it was sad to see it go. मुझे खुद बहुत दुख हुआ. फिर मैंने कहा शायद अब services have failed logistics. 300 meters में 2 flames का, they should have thought of this when they made the new memorial. In hindsight, I feel they should have let the flame be here. It's the simplest memorial. I've been to US, UK, France. I've seen there's memorial. Nice memorial. They take. हमारे country में सबसे simple memorial ये है. एक rifle और एक helmet है. ठीक है. So, and that could have been that is great. New War Memorial because में 26,466 के नाम लिखे हैं. वो जो नाम नहीं थे पहले. So maybe it is part of the same complex. But if they've taken a decision, that's what you see my YouTube video. Okay, you've taken a decision, we are okay with it, no issue. It has been merged there, but that should be allowed for normal public to move around freely, as like India Gate was. Take selfies, take pictures. National War Memorial hamara hai. And integrate. And India Gate, I've said, improve it. Those names are fading. It's 100-year-old. Let it last for another 100 years. It's a great iconic structure. Just because
great. And personally, I feel that being at India Gate and seeing Amar Jawan Jyoti just ignite, it's a feeling in itself, and it's really iconic. It's really great. So I also feel a little sad about it being shifted to the memorial. Yes, 2 flames being lighted up at such a close proximity.
Yeah, it is, and then 2 places you have guards, because a flame of this type, eternal flame, 24/7 needs 3 services, armed guard there.
But I think that I read it in the newspaper that उन्हें flame को उन्होंने, I think 50 years, after 50 years.
It has been,
yeah. So that too on the 75th
year of
anniversary.
You watch my YouTube video on this. है ना, आपको काफी मैंने हिस्टोरिकल पर्सपेक्टिव भी दिया है इसमें, क्यों बना, कैसे बना, एंड यू नो द एंटायर प्लेस. सो बट ठीक है, हो गया अभी. सम डिसीजंस यू मस्ट जस्ट टेक इट एंड मूव अहेड. डोंट, वी शुड नॉट क्रिएट पॉलिटिक्स आउट ऑफ इट. मेरा बस मानना है, एंड लीव द फोर्सेस आउट ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स. There are a lot of questions in the chat box I can take if Samir or somebody can read.
Yes, sir. We
Yes,
have a very interactive audience. So the first question is from Vinay Rana. Jai Hind, sir. My question is: these days, many students go and join army by watching movies based on army background. So is it good to join the army just from the influence of one or two movies?
No, not at all. That is why enough फिर disappointment होती है, बन भी नहीं पाते. Then they go for 5, 6, 10 SSBs and they come back and they become cynical. No, you movie is nothing. वही मैं कह रहा हूँ ना, movies हैं. There are some good Hindi movies have been made on army. I'm not denying that, but there's too much of melodrama these days on Instagram, Facebook, and you know, Philo and YouTube videos make them something. So people watch that and want to go, but they don't work towards it. So you need to work a lot on your personality, basic personality. That is important.
So the next question is from Vaishnavi, that how did you imagine your military life before you joined, and how did your perception changed?
I never realized I took things as they would. I never planned too far in my life, and not in at least my career. It just happened. Things just happened. I told you 4 or 5 years I was laid back. I was more into sports. You know, I was playing handball and I was into running and basketball and all. Then I became professional. You know, and then my marriage changed a lot of things for me. I'm married to a wonderful woman. You know, and that is a story in itself. So she has a lot of role to play in you know giving me this confidence कि यार तू कम नहीं है, थोड़ा सा you work little harder. Why not? Why can't you be there? So that she's been a big support in crucial stages. Not only bringing up two wonderful boys, but also in crucial stages in my life. So that is very important, army, to have a good spouse. You know, they can make your career or break your career. I've seen both ways. I've seen good officers also just get wasted out, and mediocre people like me also make it. So they have like all, I think spouse plays a major role. So, but I never imagined. But then once I got this habit, and after 5, 6 years service, then I never looked back. Then I was always in front in all extent, physical fitness or sport, more, you know, reading, writing. And I was always candid. Even in the military, I was candid like this. I was known for this. He is candid. He will give his opinion, frankly.
Yes, sir. I also think that determination, hard work, and maximum support from family is important for success. So the next question is from Aman Jaiswal. Sir, how you managed everything and how you cope stress? Some tips that helps us.
Stress. See, I've also passed through very stressful times. You know, very stressful times. I've had my own lows in life as a young officer. Middle time also. You know, sometimes there are, you know, because you're not only just unit, you have parents, their aspirations, your family, their aspirations, you know, demands from children and parents, you know. So you are humans, we have a lot of pressures on us, performance. Sometimes you may be serving under bosses you may not like, but you are at a very crucial stage, you have to work. And, you know, so I think I handled stress in a manner that I always remained cool and calm, you know. I remained cool and calm. I didn't worry too much. I worked very hard, but I didn't worry too much. So there's no time for worrying. When I hit the bed, I slept. And when I was working like mad. So, and I was very passionate. I was involved. Whatever task I got, I was involved in it. I never worried. I was not into gossiping. I was never into backbiting. I never joined a group of friends who were cynical, negative people. So those qualities somewhere, and my ability to read, I was into reading current affairs, giving lectures, so I was getting 10 times the work compared to my colleagues. So probably that helped me to, you know, so I maybe I just managed stress.
So Sir, actually, you provided us with a very great secret, like how to succeed, be calm, be cool, work accordingly,
Yeah, I
take the
always
steps.
say ना
I guess.
मेरे unacademy class में कई तकिया कलाम है. I say what are the 3 C's? So suddenly 30 people start writing cool, calm, composed. 3 C's I say cool, calm, and composed. Retain this in interview, in anything. It'll at least you have your wits about. If you're desperate, nervous, फिर तो तुम कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते हो. Then when I talk of, there's a video of mine seen by almost 1 lakh children how to read newspaper. I say avoid 3 C's: cricket, crime, and cinema. Now I have added 3 C's and a P. P is politics. Because election हो रहा है ना, आधा अखबार उसे भरा, योगी ने क्या बोला, उसने क्या बोला, अखिलेश ने क्या बोला, शाह ने क्या बोल दिया, उसने क्या बोल दिया. So I say just don't read cricket, crime, cinema, and politics. So what is left? It is just 8 to 10% of paper. Real good information which you can drive or opinions you can make.
Yes, sir, correctly said. The next question is from Akshit Singh. Sir, is it possible to introspect and criticize yourself and maintain the self-confidence at the same time?
Excellent question again. Absolutely. Introspection is very important. And in introspection, you should be able to kick yourself if you have not performed. Ability to check yourself. It's very easy to blame, your environment, your parents, your bosses, so I always feel that your circle of influence should always be growing. Things that you can hold yourself responsible. और आप लोग बच्चों में कहते हैं you are exactly consequences of the choices you make. It's all the consequence of choices you make. So it's on you. You can't blame things which are not in your hand. So no use criticizing them, blaming them. So work on your strengths, work on things that you can control, you can do. So that I think helped me. I have introspected a lot. Now also I introspect many times. क्या करना चाहिए, कैसे करना चाहिए, things and all. So that is important, and that gives you confidence कि नहीं यार, you're doing well. अच्छा है, ये भी ठीक है.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, actually, अभी आपने confidence related बोला ना. Actually, sir, I am preparing for NDA. And April 10 को. And sir, since I have observed, like जो मेरे friends हैं, they are talking about OLQs. Like उन्होंने अपनी personality उस according develop कर ली है. उन्होंने अपना physical standard, they are like just NDA जाना है, ऐसे वैसे. और since हमने अभी NDA के लिए preparation start करी है, so it really feel demotivating कि तुम्हारे बस का नहीं है. NDA में पता है, मतलब ऐसे type के लोगों की requirement होती है. तुम्हारी mindset ऐसे थोड़ी ना, ऐसे personality develop नहीं होती. You can't do this, that. So sir, it really feel demotivating. Like confidence पहले टूट जाता है.
कोई बात नहीं. देखो,
Sir, same question.
I know many people are asking this question, but a lot of girls are, in fact, there are 65 girls who have cleared NDA, 65 of them, and I am running a course for them, basic officer aspirant course. उनमें से 10 के लिए we are running free, top 10 that we've selected this thing. So there are 55 other girls, 65 girls are there with me. But there are only 19 vacancies in NDA, and there are 1,000 girls who have passed. So out of this also was saying now OLQ or Flana, they are not going to get into the academy. So don't worry, firstly. And secondly, now that you have taken a decision, you try for NDA, but you aim for CDS. So you have a good, why don't you go to college? Yeah? College बहुत बढ़िया जगह. I didn't go to NDA. Many questions have come. I'm not from NDA. I never passed the NDA exam because I was very weak in maths. So, but I feel in hindsight now, looking back 40 years, I think it was the best thing happened to me. Otherwise, I would have been a typecast, typical Fauji thinking. NDA is what, 16, 17-year-old, you go there. After that, you go to IMA, you don't see the world. You don't grow as a person as much as I went to college, I went to university, I did so many things, which stood me. So just keep, why are you worried, Vanshika? Agar tumko Fauj mein jana hai, now is the day you've taken a decision now. And you're welcome to join my course or my club. I have a Telegram group, Yash Mor ke naam se, about 11,000 children in that. There's more community करके उसमें 4-5 बच्चे हैं. They are exchanging information, everything. I'm just giving them a platform. And then all my classes, notifications, Zoom meetings, I get a lot of speakers to speak to. All of it is there. So ये पूरा का पूरा जो है, I'm creating an ecosystem for aspirants. And even if you don't go to ND or IMA ना, वंशिका, तुम्हारी life तो change है. अगर तुमने मेरे को अपना mentor मान लिया ना, तुम्हारी life change है. All of you. If you join me in इन YouTube पे हो या Telegram पे हो या Instagram पे हो, if you follow me sincerely कि हाँ यार जो एक ही गुरु होता है या रहबर कह लो या mentor कह लो, you will never hear any dubious things or anything. So we are here to motivate you, inspire you, and this journey is amazing, Vanshika. नहीं भी हुए ना, you are a totally different person. Wherever you will go in life, you will do well, because this ethos that you will learn now will carry you through all your life.
यस सर, ट्रू सर. सर एक्चुअली क्या है ना, जो पर्सन जो कि बहुत ज़्यादा एनडी के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं सिंस फॉर मेनी इयर्स, तो दे वर लाइक, हम उनको बोलते हैं कि हम कॉलेज, तो वो कहते हैं कॉलेज बट इज कॉलेज, बकवास है, कुछ नहीं है. एनडीए एनडीए एनडीए, तुम्हारी पर्सनालिटी कुछ, अगर एनडीए जाना है ना तो बस फोकस शुड बी ऑन एनडीए. कॉलेज वगैरह भाड़ में गया है, दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी क्या है, कुछ भी तो नहीं है कोई. मतलब दे वर टॉक अबाउट, वो हमें ऐसे लगाते हैं कि तुम कुछ हो ही नहीं, तुम्हारे अंदर कोई ऑयल क्यों नहीं है, तुम्हारे कोई पर्सनालिटी नहीं है, तुम क्या कुछ भी क्रैक करोगे.
OLQ कुछ होता नहीं है वंशिका, ठीक है. OLQ असेसर ने देखना है. आपने, मैं तो बोलता हूँ OLB, ऑफिसर लाइक बिहेवियर.
ओके.
So just be like an officer like behavior. What an officer should be behaving at home, in workplace, with colleagues, with friends, in class, with teachers, with your friends. So those are the qualities. Don't worry about OLQ and all. Just be a good, positive person, and that is what is required.
Okay.
So last question. I will take the last question now. Anyone?
Okay, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
My question
Am I
is,
audible? Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, last question.
Yes, sir. Let them both ask last two questions only, and then we'll be ending the
last
session.
two questions. Yeah.
Yes.
sir, why you join army as an officer? Why not as a soldier, sir?
यार बड़ा फर्क है यार, रात दिन का फर्क है, being an soldier and an officer.
Sir,
And
because
soldier बन के chances of becoming officer are very very bleak, and I would have never joined as a soldier. If I had not been selected as an officer, I would have done something else. No way. तो ये तो मैं सोच भी नहीं सकता हूँ कि I would have joined the army as a soldier and then tried to become as an officer. हमारा in Asian armies, there's a huge difference in qualification, aspirations, and other things between a soldier and an officer. So I never even thought of it.
सर क्योंकि मेरे दोस्तों को रिकमेंड हुआ है जस्ट अभी एनडीए 147 के लिए, तो उसने मेरे से क्वेश्चन पूछा, तो सर मैं ना इसका करा, यू हैव नॉट अ टिपिकल आंसर टू दैट क्वेश्चन. सो सर मैं उसको दे नहीं पाया था इसका जवाब, पता नहीं क्वेश्चन का.
बहुत डिफरेंस है यार. If you are capable of becoming, I keep telling boys जो मेरे से टच में, सब सर ग्रुप एक्स ज्वाइन कर लूँ, ये कर लूँ. मैंने कहा नो, अगर ऑफिसर बनना है go for it. Go इंडियन नहीं हुआ, CDS, OTA, CAPF में चले जाओ, BSF, CRPF. You think you have capability of becoming an officer, go for it. Don't, उसके थ्रू जाना काफी कठिन है.
Okay, sir. Thank
Yeah,
you.
last question. Sameer.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you so much, Samir, and thank you so much, sir, for giving the last question to me. Sir, I am very impressed by the way you speak and right now in this meeting and also on your YouTube channel. Like, I really appreciate this. I have one very simple question, sir. I believe you were commissioned in the army in the year 1985, and you took retirement in 2020. So that is around, I think, 35 years, which is a very long time. And I believe during the course of this time, the army was also undergoing changes and it was also evolving. So can you tell me if you witnessed any changes that you think were very visible from the time of your joining to the time of your retirement? Yes, sir.
Thank you. Very good question once again. Actually, in our case, the pre-commissioned service is not included. Otherwise, I joined the academy in 1983. But that part for officer, unfortunately, why? Recruits, the day you get enlisted, your service starts. But officers is the day you get commissioned. So your training doesn't count for anything. So, and before that, I was in military school. So I've seen army for 4 decades, you can say. So, yeah, many changes have taken place. Many changes have taken place in the army. There is infusion of technology. The much better quality of recruits we are getting, soldiers. That's a huge change. Mostly educated and very, very competent. And I think that one change. The other change I see is more and more officers are coming from the background that I belonged. In my time, it was rare for a soldier's son to become an officer. Today, bulk of the officers who are getting commissioned are children of farmers, shopkeepers, or sipahi, or havaldar, or a JCO. So this also is a positive change. They represent. Actually, I'm very happy to see children from lower middle class, or or poorer families, or because you have a fire in you. You want to achieve something, and throughout your life, you will continue to work hard. That is another change I see in the army. The third change I see is the pay and allowances have really improved. It's very attractive now. Very attractive. Our soldier gets more than what an engineer from a top college gets in his placement. Soldier, 10th pass, 12th pass soldier. Allowances are very good. You go to Siachen Glacier or you serve on line of control. Today, when I was in Punch, we were getting 100 rupees or something like that. Today they get 30,000, 40,000 rupees, depending on what height your allowances. Better clothing has improved a lot. Food has improved a lot. So overall conditions have really changed. Really changed. When I got commissioned, my pay and my mess bill was same. I didn't save anything. Nothing was there to give home, or nothing was left, hardly anything. But today, a young officer coming back after 2 years posting to a field area can buy top of the line car. He can just go to a showroom and drive, or a Harley he can take and all. So there is a huge change that way. I hope I've answered.
Definitely, sir, and you have answered it wonderfully. And also, just to wrap up from my side, I feel really lucky that I got this chance to interact with you on a one-to-one basis. So thank you very much for the team who organized this, and thank you very much for answering my question, sir.
Thank you.
That's it. You can
I
take it
try to
forward.
be as honest and candid with you all young people.
Sir, also, he is the son of a major in army. His father has served in the Kargil war also. That's why he respects you a lot.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Uh,
Aryan. Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you so much,
Sir.
sir. Sir, it has been such an honor to hear such motivational and inspirational words from you. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Resilience and our president, Rotarian Riya Agarwal, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, Major General Yash Mor, sir, for enlightening us with his insightful works and making us a part of his journey. Thank you.
So thank you. And Shefali wants to say something.
Yeah, sir, I was just continuing that. A sincere thanks to the team member who handled the event throughout, a wide round of applause, and thanks to all the participants who made the event a memorable one. Thank you so much, sir, for
So
your
you can
inspiration.
Thank you so much, sir.
hope to see you on my Telegram. Samir has my WhatsApp number also, my email, and you can interact me anywhere. I like to see your comments on some of my YouTube videos, and you can say, sir, if you remember, you're part of the discussion like this. And one last, I would say this thing is that be careful of the polarization that is taking place. I expect your generation to be totally away from fake news and propaganda. We need this nation to stay together. That is the only danger. The tricolor is more important than all gods put together, of all religions put together. Nothing matters. If this stays, we all stay. Otherwise, we will be in a so I have a deep respect for people of all faiths and all communities, and that is how I like to see young Indians. No bigotry, no zingoism, no rhetoric. We don't need it. That is one closest to my heart, actually, this issue.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, this was an excellent way to wrap up this session with your kindful words. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Samir. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you
all
so
of
much.
you.
Sir,
Bye
thank
bye.
you, Mr.
Thank you
Saligram.
so much,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
Thank
you.
sir.
you. Meeting now. Thank you so much. Thank you. You can all leave now. Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity.